Hi everyone, welcome back to the Ultimate Develop series. So in this video we will see how basically the reviewer once come to the Ultimate Develop's workspace and how he starts the review and how he can effectively use the Ultimate Develop without using the software to be installed and then review from there. He can directly go to the project folder and open the project and can see the sheets are over here. As the sheets are all open over here, you can see the first sheet is basically the block diagram. Here it has, we have discussed in our previous video that the first sheet includes the overall information of all the other sheets and what is the naming convention used in all the sheets. As over here it's the block diagram and each block is representing a single sheet. So let's open some block, this CPU block, this power block. As you can see, there is no global label over here, and we have discussed about the global label in our previous video. So it's not connected with any other sheet. It means it is not connected to any other sheet. So it's a problem. The first problem the reviewer encounters that the power sheet is not connected to any other sheet. So we should add the thread, start the thread on it, and uh, and then let's say open the CPU schematics doc and see what can be improved over here in terms of the reviewing point of view, that there are multiple decoupling capacitor with different values. What is the recommended values of the capacitor to be used in the MCU sheet with this STM32? As you can see, it's 24 megahertz crystal is used over here, but the STM32 really needs a 24 megahertz crystal. So to check this, just copy the part number and open its data sheet. So now it's open, uh, and let's see where these are connected. These are connected to pin 12 and pin 13. You have to do some struggle to find these pins, but there are some tips to find this. Control F and place what you want to search. P-H0, it's the oscillator in pin, so it's the input pin. And you can see the oscillator information, uh, what frequency of oscillator should be and what is the range of the frequency of oscillator which can be connected to these pins. So if you did not find, as I'm searching over here, I'm not getting this. You can use some other keyword like oscillator. Let me type it, oscillator, and here you can see its range of oscillation frequency is 4 to 26 megahertz. So it's the 24 megahertz, as you can see in the properties, 24 megahertz crystal. So it's in the range, so it's fine to go with this. So there is no issue with this. So the reviewer resolves another issue. Here in this way you can see how fastly and quickly the reviewer is reviewing the schematics, as I am also reviewing this for the first time. And here when the reviewer see, here is a bus with multiple 1 2 3 4 5 6 wires connected to it, and here is a harness where it is going out outwards to the board. And let's go back to the MCU. Yeah, this one. So here are different harnesses having different bus, and here are multiple capacitor, 10 NF, 10 NF, 10 NF, 2.2 UF on the VCC side. So it's basically the convention and the best practice to use the highest value capacitor with the VCC pin and the lowest value on the IC side. So all the capacitors, multiple capacitors are in parallel. But datasheet usually recommends to use some specific value of capacitor, like what should be the value of the capacitor effective value. Let's say you are using 10 NF, but the datasheet is recommending 100 NF. So you should use 100 NF instead of 10 NF. So let's, as I'm searching over here in the datasheet, it is written the 2.2 UF ceramic capacitor should be replaced by the 200 NF decoupling capacitor. So it's the regulator voltage output capacitor in our schematics. So what should be the output capacitor value for the regulator? Here it's mentioned over here to cross 2.2 UF. If the battery is we are using this, sorry, regulator voltages. If we are using the regulator voltages, we should place 2.2 UF two capacitors over here. So if not, we should place 200 UF capacitor instead of 2.2 UF. So use those capacitors. So we have to go back to the schematics and see is there really are we using 2.2 UF, or the designer using 2.2 UF or 100 UF. So we will get the idea that he is really using the regulator voltage or not. So it's the quick check that we can check if it is using he's using the regulator or not. So if we search more on the datasheet, when the reviewer is reviewing the schematics, he should be more concerned about the datasheets as well. So you can see in the pin description, pin outs, you can search for the regulator pin and can see what other recommendations are for the regulator voltage capacitor, regulated voltage capacitor on the STM32 regulator pin. Go back to the schematics and search for 2.2 UF capacitor. Is really used the capacitor? No, he's used 10 UF capacitor multiple times, so it means that he is not using the regulator voltage. So we have seen that how can we check instantaneously that what the value are used. There are some more details on this VDD pin. 1.7 volts to 3.6 volts can be applied to this pin, and in our schematics the designer is using 3.3 volts. So it's a quick check. So another thing is regulator on. If we are done with this data sheet, and we will be completely review the sheet of the MCU, because it has more connections with the MCU. So whatever is included in the sheet we should see, and see the datasheet for them, and finalize the component and add the comments. And we can also tag the person, the designer, what should be added in the design and what is not added in the design. So in this way, both the design and the review can work in simultaneously, and as well as the as soon the design is progressing, the review is also progressing. So we can eliminate the issues. So here you can see VBAT pin has some output capacitor. So it means we are using this pin, and it has some net label with the diode. And here you can see USB N and USB P pin has some differential pair that basically routed through the differential pair. So it's also correct. And what is the differential pin impedance matching is necessary for these differential pairs. So we have to look for the differential pair impedance as well. So today we have seen that how reviewer can come to the workspace and can start the review and effectively review the schematics. So that's all for today's video. Thanks for watching, and follow us for the upcoming videos.